Hi, I'm Maggie Mestrich, the Director of Business Development for Carmel Swim Club and Carmel Swim Academy. We share stories and experiences from our Carmel Swim Club alumni as a way to demonstrate the incredible, long-lasting impact swimming, and specifically swimming with Carmel Swim Club, can have on your life. Today, I'm talking with Katy Schlies. Hi, Katy.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Time. All right, why don't we jump in? Can you place yourself in the context of Carmel swimming? When did you start? How long did you do it? All that fun stuff.
Yes. So I moved to Carmel from North Carolina at the age of, I believe, 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. And I had swam just summer league. That was my intro to swimming in North Carolina. So when we moved, my parents were like, hey, you love swimming. We heard when we bought this house that there's a great swimming community, great swimming tradition here. So how about you try out this club team? So I believe that was around 2007. Okay. I began with the club. So I swam all the way from 2007 through age group, through high school, graduated from high school in 2016, and then spent the past 4 years at the University of Kansas, where I just finished off swimming 4 years collegiately. And it's retired life is nice.
So where are you now, personally, professionally, geographically, whatever you would like to share?
So I'm back home in Carmel. I'm working for a social media marketing agency remotely and doing a little part-time retail on the side, kind of riding out this whole pandemic situation. My degree was in journalism and strategic communication. So hopefully in the future, I'd love to work in marketing, PR, maybe in sports, maybe in entertainment, music industry, but we'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, the world is your oyster.
Right. As soon as the pandemic's over.
Isn't that the truth? Can you share some of your earliest memories of being around the water? It doesn't have to be competitive swimming, but just anything with being around pools or ocean, beach, anything.
So I remember before I lived in Wisconsin, before I lived in North Carolina, I lived in Wisconsin, and I did remember doing swim lessons there at like a goldfish swimming academy type of thing, one of those indoor like 100-degree pools, kiddie pools. So I remember doing some lessons there and being really comfortable around the water. And it was probably more so because we got like a trophy filled with M&Ms at the end. It was like the candy that was the incentive, or
I'll do it
down the slide or whatever. But my mom always says that I was like a water baby, a beach baby, you know, just kind of had that calmness. Like I mentioned earlier too, summer league was a big thing. Started out kind of just to make friends and, you know, get to know the other kids in your neighborhood or the community a little bit more, but quickly turned into something that I really gravitated towards. I loved being a part of a team and competing and really being able to like compete for something that was bigger than yourself, whether it be, you know, your school or even just your neighborhood you live in. So I think that's like where my love for it really took off.
How did you feel making the transition, having started just really being entrenched in summer league? Then you move to a new place and you do start swimming year round. What was that like for you? How did you feel when you started?
I honestly think like moving here and like hearing about the Carmel Swim Club and all that tradition, I was going to be a little bit more intimidated, but I remember the like sort of tryout process being pretty smooth. You know, you go in, you swim a couple strokes, the coaches place you in the appropriate group. And I think I started in dolphins, I want to say, back when they had all those, the animal names. Yeah. So it was funny, actually, me and Claire Adams and Caroline Schultz, I believe it was September, so fall of 2007. We were like the 3 newbies in the dolphins group. So our first day of club swimming was all together. And I was just with them in Austin, Texas last weekend. So it's super cool that we're like all still close. And we started on the same day, and Caroline was the last of us to finish swimming last weekend. And so it was fun that we could all kind of like be on that whole journey together.
Well, that's fun because you guys are part of my start. When I started with Carmel Swim Club as a coach, you were in that first Barracudas group that I had. So you 3 are forever linked in my mind together.
Me and Claire always joke around with Caroline too. Like, oh, we got held back. You got sent up to Ian's group, and me and Claire got held back in Maggie's group that one summer.
I actually have spoken recently to Ian and Chris about that, and it just goes to show the long-term athletic development.
You never know.
You never know what's going to happen, but I do firmly believe it was the right call, even as hard as it was. But it was only one summer, and then you guys were all three back together. So it was okay. And it all worked out in the end. What is the most significant lesson that you learned while you were swimming with Carmel?
I think I learned a ton of things looking back. Lots of lessons, lots of hard lessons, but lots of worthwhile lessons. And I think something that stuck with me the most and helped me be successful in the future and in college was kind of learning that everybody on the team has a role, which is kind of interesting in swimming, which is an individual sport. But like I mentioned before, I've always really gravitated towards, the team camaraderie and that, we're a team, we're working for one thing aspect of sports. And so in Carmel, especially as we got older and we started to be in high school and, there's all of the high school traditions and the state team and all that stuff going on. I was swimming at a time when lots of the girls in my training group would go on to be NCAA All-Americans and even champions, Olympic qualifiers. And I quickly learned that wasn't my role. I wasn't going to be the one on the front of the newspaper scoring all the points. So, and I was okay with that. I just, kind of had to pivot and say, okay, what am I good at? What are my strengths here that maybe some other people struggle with? And I think in that, I found that I was a good and natural leader. So I really was able to kind of develop my leadership abilities and kind of help the team in that way to strengthen an already great foundation and team culture. But I feel like it allowed us to be super successful in that we were grounded in these beliefs and this culture that allowed us to be successful, when the lights were shining, but also kept us from crumbling, in the times of adversity and the hard times. So I think that was a pretty big lesson I learned. And like I said, helped me kind of wrap my head around my identity and my role as a teammate and a swimmer that allowed me to be really successful in college as well.
I think I just need to give you some serious props to have had the wherewithal while you were in it.
It wasn't easy, let me tell you.
I'm sure it wasn't, but I also think a lot of people need the gift of time and perspective to understand and to see, either I did play that role or I could have played that role, but to just in the moment be able to jump in and embrace it as hard as it might have been at times. I think that's pretty remarkable.
But I'm very thankful for it. Like I said, in the long run, I feel like it helped me a lot and helped me end my swimming career on a super positive note.
Good. That's great. What advice or insight would you offer to current swimmers?
I think, I feel like I'm so far removed and I've only not been swimming for a year. But I think, like I said, learning that lesson relatively early that, I wasn't going to be the next Olympian or whatever it was. And I wanted to be able to contribute in a way that I could, was that swimming is something that I did. It's not like who I was. And I'm sure people, talk about identity and all that kind of stuff all the time. But I just think it's really important to know that swimming teaches you things, things about yourself, qualities, lots of transferable skills. I know those are all the buzzwords, but it's just things that swimming teaches you. It's not, I'm a swimmer. This is who I am. This is my identity. This is all I can offer. So I guess I would really encourage people to lean into those things that swimming brings out of you. So for example, me, it was the leadership or passionate about the team aspect or, anything like that. Just really lean into that. And then that can help you when you're done swimming or, on a school project or whatever it might be. That is your identity. So swimming is a vessel to bring those things out of you. It's not who you are. So I think that would be a big insight that I've learned.
I like that. And that kind of goes with our mission. I mean, we're teaching excellence through swimming, but for life.
Right.
I love that. What would you tell somebody who is thinking about joining Carmel Swim Club?
Wow, do it, I guess. I think, you don't have to like have this Olympic dream or be this like super prodigy talent to benefit from the sport of swimming or being a part of the Carmel Swim Club. You're going to be challenged. It's not always going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be worth it. And I think, for me, like growing up in a program or just like a community that was like really grounded in this culture of holding people accountable, but also teaching excellence through swimming for life and developing you into a great culture has had more of an impact on me than anything else I can put my finger on in my 23 years of life so far. So definitely think it's worthwhile. And like I said, like it's okay if you're not going to be this super fast superstar. Like your best is your best, and you always have something to contribute. And that's what makes Carmel so successful, is everybody knowing that what they're giving is beneficial and helping everyone in the long run.
Yeah, that's great. All right. You don't have to give me just one. If you need to do something, you can. But do you have a favorite Carmel swimming memory?
I have a few. So thought of a couple that I feel like kind of really illustrated very well what the Carmel swimming culture is like. So first off it was my freshman year of high school, and I was in HP, Chris's group, and we would do this set sometimes, and it would be like 825s underwater. Whatever rest you wanted to take, you could, but you had to make all 8 before you could leave practice. And I was horrible at underwaters. And so I remember it was me and Spencer Satz were like the last 2 people. And I was taking forever to finish. And it was probably like 20 minutes after practice was supposed to end. And I was like getting super frustrated. And Spencer had just finished, and he waited until I was done. So he stayed and supported me. And I don't think he was the best at underwaters either. It was us 2. But I feel like that really kind of showed like, wow, okay, here I am, this new freshman on this, and somebody noticed I'm struggling. They can relate to it, and they're going to stay here and support me. So I thought that was really cool. That stood out to me. Another one, Alex Clark. We came to be really good friends, still are to this day. But this was also my freshman year. We would do this IM set every Friday morning. It was like the same IM set, and it was terribly hard. And looking back, like, I think I loved it. Like the accomplishment afterwards, like
there's that gift of time and perspective.
Yes. You wanted to die when you were doing it, but looking back, it was like, yeah, like I was kind of a badass for doing that. Like I did it. So I remember texting with her one day after an IM practice or an IM set or something, and I had mentioned that it was my goal to make the state team that year. And she texted me back and had said that it was her goal to get me on the state team with her. So kind of, again, like that team camaraderie, like, maybe she wasn't vying for a spot as hard as maybe I was. She was a little bit more guaranteed, but the fact that she had, that caringness for her teammates in here and, the love for the team to, step out of her way and verbalize to me that, hey, I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to do what I can to have you be successful so we can, be on this journey together. I think that was super special. Definitely really illustrates the culture and the Carmel Swim Club family. Some kind of more fun memories. I always loved the team travel trips.
Yeah.
I feel like they've kind of died. I don't know. I feel like when I was in high school and finishing off at Carmel, there were like less and less people doing team travel trips, but those are where you like learn things about your teammates and all of the things. So fun, spending time with the coaches, like on the bus or in the van, outside of practice, outside of the pool setting. I feel like that was something that really helped me bond with everybody, and, the inside jokes and the memories that we still all crack up at to this day.
Yeah.
And then I also really loved just the championship traditions that go along with the girls' high school team, like down to drinking only Dasani water at the sectional dinner, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but you get
whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works. So it was really, really fun to be a part of that, and be a part of a winning culture and a tradition that spans back so long, to just feel the support of people who are literally my parents' age, who started this tradition and they're still following it. And it's a really cool kind of exclusive group to be a part of. So
it is.
That.
Wonderful. What do you think people might be surprised to learn about Carmel Swim Club?
We have a lot of fun. I mean, when I was there, we had all of the laughs, all of the jokes, the fun music, all of that kind of stuff. I think, you see the headlines and it's all results and record and that and whatever. And you might think, wow, this is some super intense program and they're not allowed to smile at practice. And we had so much fun when I was there. And I think we would always say fun is fast and fast is fun. So when you're having fun, you're loose and, you're not overthinking it, you're confident. And when you're in that mindset, you're going to swim fast, and swimming fast is fun. So it's kind of this like positive feedback loop. And I think that's where a lot of the success comes from. Obviously there's a lot of hard work and lots of other stuff going on behind the scenes, but I think that is a super important and underrated kind of blurb in Carmel and in the sport of swimming as a whole, is that
definitely
you can have fun and still be doing great things.
It's a lot better when you are.
Exactly.
Sure. Anything else you want to share or add?
I think, being a part of Carmel, like I said before, you're a part of this family and this tradition, but I just think it goes beyond that, like there's people that I swam with years ago, and we, don't talk and text on the regular, but we can sit down for a meal or a drink and be talking and catching up like we have been best friends for our entire lives. And I think it's like that with more people than it's not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So it's cool having this common experience and this bond with people that really will be pulling for you and vying for you for the rest of your life. Like I know me personally, it was super fun when I was in college to look at the SEC conference results and the Ivy conference results and the Big Ten, and kind of see how all of my fellow Carmel swimming alumni were doing. And I think that's a pretty universal thing. Board is that we all are really invested and really care about each other. And I'm excited to see how that kind of plays out and shows itself as we all step away from swimming. Like I know Charles Bond just got into law school, and it was cool to see all the comments on his Instagram post, everybody congratulating him, taking this next step and this awesome achievement. So I just think it's a really fun and special community to be a part of. And I'm super glad to see everyone still doing well and, it's going strong, new pool coming. Looks like there's super great things in the future.
Definitely. Well, Katy, thank you very much for your time.
Of course.